Okay, so we're trying to do a kombucha experiment at work where we're making kombucha. Here's all the ingredients we're going to use. We're going to use a bottle of the organic and raw original with no juices added. And then we're going to use Earl Grey and cane sugar. And there's the jar that we just took out of the dishwasher to sterilize, and we have some hot water in this container. And then we have a direction sheet that we'll use. So we're back here, and Jana's doing kombucha. And so we have the Earl Grey tea, so we're going to put 4 bags in the hot water. We have 2 cups of hot water we're starting with. And then we're going to add the sugar. We're going to add 1 cup of sugar, bringing it up to 3 cups total in the measuring cup. This is the recipe that we're using. And we're making it from scratch. So we're making the Scoby from scratch. So Gina's back here doing this. And then we're just going to put the sugar in to try to dissolve it. So we have to, yeah, I think it's like a cup that we need. Is that what it says? Oh, a half cup. Is that what it says?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so that'll take us
So
up to 2.5?
2.5, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so then we're going to let this set so that it steeps, and then we'll be back. Okay, we're back and we're removing the tea bags. And we're making the kombucha, so we're just pouring in the sweet tea essentially. And then we're needing 5 more cups of water. Yep. And then the kombucha, and we're gonna get the whole thing in there. Yeah, it says 1 cup, but it also says if there's anything at the bottom, we need to try to get that in there. So, ooh, it's bubbly. Okay, and then we're just gonna stir it up, and we're gonna put the towel over the top of the jar with the rubber bands because it's supposed to breathe.
I'm just going to get that out.
Yeah, could you get that? Yeah.
We'll just add a little bit extra water.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so essentially that's it. We're just going to rubber band it and let it sit, and we'll check back in with our experiment. Hi, we're back at 1 week later. This is a kombucha, how to make your own kombucha Scoby update, and that's 7 days. So it's not thick enough yet. That should become thicker, like a pancake. The Scoby on the top there in maybe another week or 2. We'll check back in. We're back with our 2-week update of our kombucha project. So next week we're going to start the process? Yep. Actually, we could start it today.
Cool. bit.
We could, or next week. We'll check back. Hi, we're back with our update. We've made our Scoby, and it's inside of here. And so we're ready to make our first batch of kombucha. So we'll get back to that in just a second. So this is the recipe that we found online, and we're just going to follow the instructions for our size jar. So right now we have in here 5 tea bags, which we're going to remove. We just put some hot water in this the main container, which we sterilized again, and we put the 5 tea bags, and we put 3/4 of a cup of sugar in there, and then we dissolved it and we let it cool to room temperature. And so now we're going to remove the bags out of here. And then the next thing that we're going to be doing is adding water to fill up the remainder of the jar, but leaving space on the top for the kombucha and then the reserved liquid that we have. So now we're going to use the water. This is just water out of our filtered water. So, and then we'll stir it up just to make sure that we've got all the sugar dissolved in there. So now we basically just have a big jar of sweet tea going right now. And then we're going to put the kombucha, just the mother in there right now. We're going to pick it up with our hand, I'm sorry, and put it in the top. There we go. So it's just like a big pancake, but that's called the Scoby. Okay, then we're going to measure out a cup of that liquid, which is our reserved liquid from our when we made our Scoby. See if I can get a better angle. And it doesn't have to be exact, it's whatever. It's cool. Then we'll pour it in the top. And it shouldn't be mixed around just fine, or you can give it a stir if you like, but really gently so we don't break up the Scoby. And it will float to the top on its own, just like it did. Okay, and then we're just going to put the towel back on it with the rubber band and let it sit. And our directions that we found online say we're going to let this brew for another 7 to 14 days. So, and then we'll have our kombucha. Thanks for joining us.